now in session. The Honorable Judge Weaver will be proceeding. If you have a case in court tonight, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Need Mr. Crow again.
Get Mr. Crow.
Mr. Crow, you want to do your trial first, or you want to do the plea first? So you have the paperwork for the trial, or do I have that? And the public defendants had a chance to talk with these three, to see if they really want to have a trial or something is going on with them. All right, while I'm doing the plea, we'll have him talk to those. And that's the course procedure. If they're not guilty, they want to talk with the public defender. Because oftentimes they want to delay and paying fines or want to raise the money. They really don't want to say not guilty. They just don't have the money to have something else on the mind. Marjorie Kelsey Phillips. Phillips.
She started shopping. I think she already closed the cash bond and paid the fine on it. She's going to be not working in the fixed line based off work. So it's good. In fact, yes, I don't think the items, at least one item just returns, so maybe some false there.
No, I'm reading my note. Oh, she. Was she supposed to be on Zoom last week or something? Oh. The work was more important than coming to court. Okay. How old are you, Ms. Phillips? How much education do you have? You work where? You understand your right to a trial, the presumption of innocence, the right to confront and subpoena witnesses, and the right to remain silent and not incriminate yourself? Are you mentally disabled or under the influence of drugs, alcohol, or medication? To the charge of shoplifting, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Ma'am?
Guilty.
Why didn't you come to court last time?
I was told not to come.
You were told not to come?
Yes.
By whom?
Officer Traylor.
Your arresting officer?
Yes.
And why did he tell you not to come?
He said if I paid in full and all of that, I didn't have to come.
If you did what?
Paid in full, I didn't have to come.
That was bad information. Did you return the item?
No.
Why not?
I just didn't bring it back.
What do you do it for you? They know about this charge?
No.
What was the location of the shoplifting? Hmm?
Walmart.
All right, ma'am, I accept your guilty plea. You are alleged that you, was scanning items and did not scan about 5 items totaling $38.65. You've been placed on pretrial intervention for 6 months. You have to complete the TAP program, that's the Theft Awareness Program, with the Stipends Academy through probation. You have to stay away from Walmart. And the court forfeit bond that you've already paid. And once you complete what I ask you to complete, or order you to complete, the case may end earlier than 6 months. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Any questions? All right. And meet with probation, then you be released. You go to that table in the back on the right. Okay. What is it?
I'm sorry.
I don't think it's gonna work in the audit. You get the restitution now? You gonna write it on here somewhere?
I can.
You can.
Yes, sir.
You're supposed to write it on there. We're gonna pay it to you all. All right. You all have a Civics Academy flyer or what do we have? Did they give y'all a flyer or something? Civics Academy. You know what that is? You know what the Civics Academy is?
I'm not aware.
Oh. At one point, you all were using them. Kyle, what was it?
Yeah.
Hunt person. That's Academy. That's online, and most of the stuff you're doing is online. I want her to do that for us. That's right. Just to go to the look after that, or back in the car, they have all the programs that almost for us. Right. But they're gonna ask you, talk about that. So that, I don't know on the website. You put still with Walmart on there?
Yes,
Okay, all right. Jordan McGill, McGill. How old are you?
22, sir.
17?
22.
How much education do you have?
I'm in college right now, first year.
Where do you work?
I don't work.
Do you understand your right to a trial by jury, the presumption of innocence, the right to confront executed witnesses, the right to remain silent and not commit yourself? Are you mentally disabled or under the influence of drugs, alcohol, or medication? You indicate that you wish to enter a guilty plea to lay and drag. Is that correct? And why were you charged with lay and drag?
I was leaving the club over there. I just
Did you have the same car when you were going 90 and 70?
yes, sir.
Or was that?
Yes, sir. I was passing one of the houses.
Did you have the same car?
Yes, sir.
Did you also miss court there?
Yes, sir.
The court accepted guilty plea. The fine is $370. You placed on pretrial interdiction for 6 months. You have to complete defensive driving school. Once you complete defensive driving school and pay the fine, your case can end earlier than 6 months. It won't impact your driver's license or your insurance, okay? Down on probation and you'll be released. Yes, ma'am. 6 months pretrial. Defensive driving school and $370 fine. Tatiana Gordon, is that what it is? Tatyana Gordon? Excuse me in the back. I apologize. That young lady needs to pay $7 contempt for whatever happened on last court date. I'm sorry. Add $7 for contempt fee from last court date. Ma'am, you're supposed to have a fine in the amount of $175 paid by today. Do you have the money? Can you talk? Do you have the money? You know that we're recording everything that we do, so knowing your head is not gonna get it. What do you work?
I just started that on here.
She was paid on probation for 6 months, terminated for payment of fine and fee. She was charged with, speeding. It was reduced to too fast for condition. She entered a guilty plea to too fast for condition for that fine of $175. She can meet with probation, man. Amanda Pope. Amanda Pope. Pope, how old are you? How much education do you have? Do you understand your rights? Where do you work? Ma'am? You understand your right to a trial by jury, the presumption of innocence, the right to confront and speak witnesses, and the right to remain silent and incriminate yourself? Are you mentally disabled or under the influence of drugs, alcohol, or medication? You change your plea from not guilty to guilty on your own free and voluntary will? Nobody threatened you in any way or promised you anything to get you to change your plea? All right, the charge is reduced by agreement to too fast for condition. The court accepts a guilty plea. The fine is $175. When can you pay that, man? I have to pay it by December 9th, November 9th.
She said she can take it off.
Right? That's even better. You can sit up there, take some paper. So all three of the defendants do it by their plea of not guilty and want to trial.
That's what I'm saying.
All right.
I like to call Mr. Adams, code enforcement case first, dog case.
Okay. You need it? Or you... What?
Michael Townsend. Mr. Townsend?
Pull your mask up, sir, and keep it up. Have you been vaccinated? Didn't make sense.
Yeah, Mr. Townsend charged with a leash law violation. I would call Direct Isaac Adams, it's my first witness.
Okay.
Brett Adams, you can sworn in?
Yes, I am.
All right, now, would you state your full name for the record?
Isaac Adams,
And how are you employed, Brett Adams?
as code enforcement officer for the city of Sylvester.
How long have you employed that test?
I've been employed 7 years in Sylvester.
Okay. And are you also a certified law enforcement officer?
Yes, sir.
And how long have you had your certification?
Law enforcement, about 20 years, 20.
Did you successfully pass your mandate training?
Yes,
And tell me what your duties are as a code enforcement officer with the city of Sylvester.
to the work with the ordinances for the city of Sylvester, to police and ordinances in the city of Sylvester.
And that includes enforcement of local and state ordinances.
Yes,
And tell me, are you familiar with Mr. Townsend?
yes, sir.
Tell me how you're familiar with him.
Mr. Townsend is, he lives on Oxford Street, at 306 Oxford Street. And on, earlier than that, in April the 2nd, that was on a Friday, I made contact with Mr. Townsend in April of this year, of 2021. Mr. Townsend, I talked with Mr. Townsend about, a dog that approached the neighbor's house. And he said it was his dog, so at that time I talked to Mr. Townsend, and the dog was at large, and I advised Mr. Townsend to keep his dog off the neighbor's property. And this was the warning that I had given Mr. Townsend at this time.
That Great Rapids, is that occurring in the city of Sylvester, Georgia?
Yes, it is. 306 East Hospital. And the case we're talking about now happened in September 26th. And I got a call about the same house and the same dog that was being off the chain.
And was that dog located within the city of Sylvester, Georgia?
Yes, it was. And when I got up to the house, the dog was on the chain, that tail was in the yard at that time, and he was coming back up the road. And the dog was off the leash. So at that time, the officer came and we approached the house when the dog was off the chain. And we talked to Mr. Townsend here, and I made contact with him and his sister that was there at the house. And I advised him that the dog was off the chain again for the second time, and that this time, we would proceed with a citation at this time. Because the neighbor did what called about this dog, was he had brought 2 because the dog was in his yard. So at that time, I wrote a citation for Mr. Townsend. At this time, I do have footage of the dog in the neighbor's yard. And
Real quick, Director Adams, when you made contact with Mr. Townsend in April, did he acknowledge the dog was his?
yes, he did.
And the location where you made contact with him, is that his residence?
Yes, sir, 306.
All right, go ahead.
And I have footage of the dog in the neighbor's yard. The neighbor sent the footage to me about him being in the yard off the chain at that time.
And the footage you have in front of you, is it easily identifiable?
Yes, sir.
File? Okay, and are you familiar with the footage and location?
Yes,
Okay, does it accurately reflect the events that were depicted in there?
yes, it is.
Director Adams has footage of the dog off the leash on 2 days evidence.
Yeah, sure to December 1st. Do you have any objection?
Did you have the opportunity to see the video?
Yeah.
He had the opportunity to view the video.
He what?
He had the opportunity to view the video.
You don't want to see it?
No, sir, he showed me the video.
Okay,
He
all right. Let me send it.
That's the neighbor's yard.
So what the defendant is?
He lived next door, sir. This is the,
Live next door?
live next door. This is 305, 304. He lives at 306.
Okay.
Now, Director Adams, when you made contact in September, what was the result of your contact with the defendant?
At that time, it was a citation issue, and we come on for the purpose of the dog being off the leash at that time.
You issued, what did you issue a citation for?
Violation of this animal nuisance, violation of the law.
And what ordinance is that?
What code did you say to me?
18-30 B.
Yes, ma'am, I got it on my phone. It says 10-11. That's not right on the document.
The neighbor was city, but we, full code ordinance is 18-30.
18-30B is the one that was issued in the citation. I'm going to show you a copy of the citation here.
Now, that says a license for
Up here,
doing something
citation
square
issued.
downtown.
Yes, it is.
Okay. And that citation is for 18-30B?
Yes.
And it's your understanding that's the violation of lease laws?
This is nuisance, yes.
What's that number again?
And our ordinance was 18-30 B.
That's 32. That's 32.
That's 30, B.
Okay. Anything else?
And was there anything else you want to add, Director Adams?
No, sir.
Y'all, I just tendered the ordinance. Got nothing further to say.
You have any questions for the witness?
It's not, My sister, she just came up here a couple of months ago.
Do you have any questions you want to ask him?
I don't. Mr. Adams? You want to ask Mr. Adams some questions?
Yeah.
You don't remember my sister got the same kind of code about the dog the first time?
Yes.
Well, how's her dog and my dog?
That's a different dog. She got that little small dog she got charged for.
Mr. Adams, you know that ain't my dog.
Well, you advised me when I first got there accepting that dog belongs to you. And when we came up there, me and Doug, when we came to you, we talked with you. And we were to, I was to the citation. And that time you tell me, no, it's not true. So the first time you said it was true, I don't have no, you know, you claimed the first time I was there. You did say it the second time, that it don't, not true.
Have any other questions for him?
No, sir.
Anything else to say? Would you like to testify on your own behalf?
I would.
You been sworn in already?
Yes, sir.
You know you'll be subject to be questioned by Mr. Ford if you choose to. State your full name.
Michael Townsend.
What do you want me to know, Mr. Townsend?
Sir.
What do you want me to know?
That ain't my dog. I don't, it's just not, that ain't my dog. I mean, I barely got somebody state as it is. Why would I be bringing the dog to their house? And the only reason why I got the citation in the,
Pull that mask back up, and I don't know how you're gonna do it. Keep it up.
and the only reason why I got the citation from the get-go is because nobody was at home, but nobody was there but me. And he wrote me the citation because I was there. That's my niece and them dog. I ain't got nothing to do with no dog. I don't have time for a dog.
Cross-examination.
Correct that, stay in place for it. You indicated you reside in that residence? How long did you reside?
Probably like 3-4 months.
From that? You didn't reside in your basement?
I would come over there, like, for my long day of work, I would come over there and stay crazy that couple of days.
And now, since you've been at the residence, your sister, no one cares if you have control of the residence?
Of course, I mean, yeah.
And in terms of animals, you have control of especially animals while you're there.
I don't like dogs.
So the question is, sir, you have control of custody of the animals while you're at residence,
No, I don't.
even though you're there by yourself?
This is definitely what.
No further questions, John?
All right, based upon the evidence presented, it is proved by the proponents of evidence that the defendant violated the city ordinance. Based upon that finding, the fine is $117. When can you pay that, sir?
About 15 minutes.
All right, you step over to that table and pay your fine. What other one?
Take someone to the office.
How long give me evidence on one? Open data the same, is it a different citation? PC 2391 and 92.
The officer, he just had one citation. He will proceed.
Did you write a citation 2391 and 2392, or what's the number that you had?
The one on here for young is 2392.
Okay. Wait a minute, 2391, I guess need to be, yeah. You gonna do a petition on him? It's up to you. I'm just a little over here, I just follow what I did. You do a petition, I'll deal with it.
You want that, so I have now dismissed?
May you what? May you dismiss?
You gotta be dismissed, please.
You dismiss.
And I enjoy working with you, Jeff.
And what is that supposed to mean?
This is my last court case.
Take him into custody. I take him into custody on the next court date, then we'll have custody of him. What are you gonna do?
Well, I'm gonna go out and continue to work on my food truck and retire.
You retire?
Yes.
Good luck to you.
Thank
Nice working with you.
You know, and I'd like to thank Mr. Adams for his work, and I have to see Sylvester for many years. Thank you.
Thank you.
Don't be a stranger. Come, give me something free every now and then. The next one I have is Dakota Miller. Dakota Miller. Ms. Miller, how old are you? Ma'am,
36,
how much formal education do you have?
14 years,
What do you do for a living?
I'm a nurse,
You're a nurse?
nurse aide,
Where do you work?
Nightingale Healthcare.
You understand your right to a trial by jury, the presumption of innocence, the right to confront antecedent witnesses, and the right to remain silent in non-incrimination test?
Yes, sir.
You're charged with trespass for condition and laying drag or reckless conduct. Do you understand those charges?
Sir?
That's not like that, John. I believe she's the red light.
Okay. All right, you're charged with red light violation, that's correct.
Yes,
And you went in or not get to and have a trial on that?
yes, sir.
All right, do you have any witnesses present in court?
Sir?
Do you have any witnesses?
Yes, sir.
Where are your witnesses?
They're outside.
They can stay outside till you call your case. Maybe proceed.
I call Officer Peterson. Officer Peterson, you been sworn in? Would you state your full name correct? Officer Peterson, how do you do? How do you employ the Special Police Department? Are you a certified law enforcement officer?
Yes,
You successfully complete your mandate training?
yes.
Tell me what your duties are as a certified law enforcement officer for the city of Sylvester.
Control the city of Sylvester and of course, state and local.
And, over the time you've been employed with the city of Sylvester, how many, red light tickets you been keeping?
A lot.
More than 100?
Yes,
And, are you familiar with the offense?
yes.
Tell me how you familiar with it.
I pulled over for wrong in the red light act, my clinic, so.
And, in terms of Franklin Isabel, is there a red light located at that intersection?
Yes.
All right, what did you observe when you were watching that intersection?
I was in Harold Flood's parking lot, about to pull out on the exit. Looked to my right, saw the red light change to red yellow. Her car was approaching the red light. It changed to red, and while she was behind the lot, and it changed to red, she just continued to the red.
Okay, and did you have a clear understanding view of the red light per vehicle at the time?
Yes.
Is there any vehicles obstructing your view? Are there any other vehicles similar to those? And are you, did you have a clear view of her vehicle the entire time up to the top of the road?
Yes.
All right, tell me what happened next.
Pulled over, behind 3 squares. Told the reason for I stopped her, she said she didn't run the red light, but I watched her run it. Got a license, wrote a citation, and she was on her way, and she stopped.
And, was anybody else in the car there as far as you recall?
One passenger, I believe.
Okay, and, at the time of the stop, where was that located?
On Washington, the side, this way.
Is that located in the city of Sylvester, Georgia?
Yes.
Anything further? That's what it's telling me.
Do you have any questions for the witness?
Do I have one more?
Do you have any questions for him?
Yes. Well, the light was actually red and it was green. The light was red and it was turning
Ma'am, that's not a question. You gotta write the question in. You may ask him questions. You're making statements.
Okay,
You have him on cross-examination, you can ask him questions about his testimony.
no.
You don't want to? Okay, all right, call your next witness.
You know, I would have one point redirect, if I may.
Yeah.
Officer Peterson, could you visibly observe the light that was facing her?
Yes.
And it was red when she crossed through that intersection?
Yes.
Is there any reason why she could not stop safety-wise, vehicles around or anything like that? That's fair, Your Honor.
All right. Any questions based upon that?
Yes. I don't feel like I ran the red light.
That's not a question. That's not a question. What?
I can't get my point across because every time I say.
Well, that's right, because I went to law school, I don't know, and I went to nursing school too, whether that's important or not. But the thing is, that's a correct procedure for trial.
I understand.
And he do the rest, you do cross-examination. You can ask him questions like, are you sure that the light was red? Where were you positioned? Wasn't a green tree between your car and the light that you couldn't see? Those are questions. But to start making statements about what you believe is not a question. You may not be able to make your point. And with him, you can't unless you ask him questions. You're required to ask questions on cross-examination.
Which one was like to show the red light?
Okay, how do you know if I ran the red light, the camera footage is not showing?
Because I saw it with my eyes.
Well, I think with my eyes, just because your eyes are there doesn't mean that your eyes are better than my eyes.
You can ask him, does he know whether or not his eyesight is better than your eyesight? That would be a question. You can't argue with witnesses either.
I'm not arguing with
Yeah,
them, I'm
yeah.
just saying that.
Saying that, what makes you think your eyes ain't better than my eyes? I saw the same light. That's arguing. You can ask him. If you know anything about vision, you can ask him that, but you're making statements again. You're fussing. You're venting. Ask him questions.
Are your eyes better than my eyes? You don't know.
I heard. And it's court. And else question.
Well, that's all the questions I have.
Okay. You think that's some shit?
Officer Fisher, do you have any issues with your eyesight? No further question.
All right. See the rest? All right. Would you like to testify first, or would you like to call your witness first? Is your witness gonna know what to say, or are you gonna question your witness?
All I know is they saw the same thing that I saw, so, I mean, they're my kids, that's who was in the car with me.
Okay. That's good, I guess. But just like Mr. Crowe questioned him, that's how it's supposed to go on the trial. You can question the witness, ask the witness questions so they can respond. And usually these are children.
Yes, and that's.
What age are these children?
16 or 15.
Okay. So you can handle it two ways. You can call them in and ask them questions like you were questioning. Or you can call them in and tell them to tell the judge what happened when you were going down the street before the police stopped you around a red light.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You want to call them as witnesses, so you're supposed to figure out how you want to handle that. So which one you want first?
Well, I would like them to tell you exactly what, tell them exactly what happened.
You want to give your testimony first? Or you want to bring the children in first?
I can give mine first.
It's your case.
Okay, I'll give mine.
You give your testimony. And you understand that as a defendant, you have a right to remain silent, and you don't have to testify if you don't want to testify. And I can't make you testify, nobody can, you understand?
Yes, sir.
And you want to waive your right, your constitutional right to remain silent so that you can testify, right? You want to waive your constitutional right to remain silent so that you can tell your side of the story.
I want to tell my side.
You got to waive your right first. Just saying I want to tell my side of the story is not going to get you there.
Okay, I want to wait on right to tell my side.
Very good. All right. I'm listening. Tell me what happened.
Okay, we were coming up to the light, which was, the light was red at the time. The light actually was turning green, and then as the light turned green, I went up under the light and turned, and I was wondering, I heard the siren call, and I didn't even know that he was pulling me over because, like I said, the light was red. It was turning green. And why would I go into ongoing traffic if the light had turned green and my kids, like I said, my kids are in the car with me. So, like, I'm not gonna try to harm myself and my kids in the car at the same time. The light actually had turned green. It wasn't turning yellow. It wasn't, I ran the red light or anything. The light was green. And then I went up on the light. And I got pulled over and I asked him, as he pulled me over beside CVS on the side of the road, and I asked him, well, why was I getting pulled over? Because the light was actually green. And he said, when you give me a license, I'll pay you in. And I was like, oh, okay. So
He said what?
when you give me a license, I'll pay you in.
Okay.
And then I said, okay, I proceeded to give him my license, as he asked, and I waited till he came back. And I said, well, could I see the camera footage? And he said, well, not at this point in time, you have to go to court, and that's the whole reason why I came to court, is to see the camera footage, so I can see for myself that I ran the light, that he said that I ran. But in my eyes, like I said, I don't see how I could ran the light, if the light was green, it wasn't even red. It wasn't turning yellow, it wasn't about, it was green. The light was red, then it turned green.
Right, Crawford?
Well, your question, like, how many cars are there?
There was no car behind.
And, how far away from the light did you say it turned green?
I was approaching, I'm not sure, I was approaching the light as it was red. The light actually turned green as I was driving. So I really didn't even have to stop because the light had turned green.
So you didn't slow down?
Well, of course, yeah, I'm not gonna speed through traffic. As I said, my kids were in the car. So I'm not gonna speed through traffic. I'm not gonna try to bring no kind of attention to myself with the police down here for one, because they're out everywhere. And I'm trying to avoid any kind of way that I would have to run into the police. So, no, I'm not gonna just bring attention to myself and just run a red light for no reason. I wouldn't do that. The light was actually green.
Did you see Officer Victor's car?
Yes, yes, we always see Officer Peter's car. Always, he's everywhere. You're about, you can't miss him.
Was he stopped or was he?
He was parked. He was parked. Mhm.
If you started to slow down when you saw this car?
I mean, I'm not speaking regardless. Like I said, police are everywhere in Sylvester. If you come to Sylvester, you're gonna know it's a police at every spot. Park here, spot here, there are police everywhere. So, yes, I've seen Officer Peterson, and he's always parked in a black SUV. And, yeah, just Officer Peterson.
What's the car?
He was in the parking lot of either like it's a little car wash place, I think, or either Carol's. It was either one of those parts. I'm not like I can't really remember because all of that is up there together. So it was somewhere.
When you saw Officer Victor's car, was the light still red or did it turn green?
What do you mean, like a red light? It was red and it was turning green.
I said, when you first visibly saw Officer Victor's car, was the light red or green?
Red.
And you didn't make any effort to slow down as you approached the light?
Well, of course, your car is gonna slow down because you're not just gonna go full speed through a light. So yeah, I'm slowing down, and then as the light turned green, I went ahead and went up on the light. Of course, I'm not gonna go full speed.
Were there any cars around you with the light?
No, sir, it was not.
Any cars behind you?
No, sir, it was not.
Was there a clear uncertainty view of Officer Victor's car in your view?
Yes, sir.
What's the time, John?
All right. Who you want to call for second, I mean? Which one is yours?
Lieutenant Stewart. Lieutenant Stewart.
Ms. Stewart?
Yeah, outside.
Judge, they're probably gonna be nervous because they are terrified of the police. So if
If you're probably gonna be what now?
they're probably gonna be nervous because they're terrified of the police.
Why? Are they terrified of?
Why is everybody terrified of the police? Because that's just life.
Well, I like what I heard so far. I mean, from you, that they're everywhere. I was still everywhere where I live. I barely see them. It would be nice for them to
It would be
be out in
nice
public,
if
so folks can
you
see them and
feel
stuff,
protected.
killing
I
folks and all that.
mean,
I believe they, we just have limited time on that don't have the mask on, juveniles.
they do have the mask on.
Somebody standing right there don't have a mask on, probably. You been vaccinated? No? Who's gonna be first? How old are you?
15.
How old are you? Well, Whoever gonna be first, other than just stand back outside the door. Then I call you and stand right close to the door, don't get lost in dark in there. Ma'am, you can come and stand where your mama standing. Y'all live in the same house? Yeah, okay. Take your full name. Can you talk louder? What grade are you in? You been vaccinated? Mama, you been vaccinated?
No, sir, I have not. I've been having health issues, so I couldn't get vaccinated yet.
Do you know why you're here? Why?
Because we were pulled over for something.
Can you tell us what happened prior to your mother being pulled over?
We were headed up the road, we stopped at the red light beside Ed's Tire Shop, and the light turned green, as the light turned green, we turned around, and we were headed for
So what happened after y'all stopped at the red light and the red light turned green? What happened after that?
we stopped beside CVS.
Did what then?
Stopped beside
Your voice keeps trailing off, so I can't hear what you say. You started off good and then you keep talking, it gets lower.
CVS.
Stop at CVS and then your mama stopped at CVS and then what happened?
Yes, sir, she put down her window, and came to the car, and we told her she was gonna get a ticket, and took on the court at this time.
Any question you want to ask her? Any question you want to ask her that she didn't cover something already?
And he said that we would see the camera, he said we would see the camera. I don't.
Okay. Call. Okay. You can call the other sister and you can step out. Tell me what your name is. How old are you again? What grade are you in? Do you know why you're here?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Because, seeing that she thought that the red light, and when the light turned,
Where were y'all coming from?
home,
Where's home?
you can't shoot. We're coming from the hood.
So tell me what route y'all went.
It was pretty much to the red light, into the, it's high shop.
Then went where? Is the light on Pecan Street?
No, sir.
How y'all get to the light?
The road, there was nothing,
You like me? You don't know your street real good. Like me. Go down Pecan Street and you turn on Franklin or something and get on Main Street and
I don't know if we got on the road for Air Sign Shop.
okay. What happened when y'all were going down the street where the light was?
Well, we thought that it was a red light.
Hmm?
We pulled up to the light, the red light.
Y'all went up to the red light.
Sir,
Was the light red when y'all was going up to it? Or was it green when y'all was going up to it?
no, it was the red light.
And then what happened when y'all was going up to the red light?
It turned, it eventually turned green. That's when the sirens started going off, there, she turned red. And then we pulled up to the road, just to see this. But when she pulled off, it was green light.
So are you saying that y'all were driving up to the light and it was red and it changed green before you went through it, that y'all stopped at the red light? And when it turned green, y'all pulled off? Did you stop at the red light? Or did you just, the light was green before y'all got to the intersection? Do you remember?
I'm not sure. All I know is it was a green light.
It was a green light when?
When she pulled off,
So that's why I asked you, when you said it was a green light when she pulled off, that made me assume that she stopped.
she didn't never pull off.
She never stopped.
Yes, sir.
Why you think she pulled off? What do you mean by that? Did she pull off when y'all left home?
She
That's what you said? With the car, stop when y'all get in the home and she pulled off and y'all jump in the car while it was rolling? What? Which one?
It didn't jump in like, well, while it was rolling, we didn't jump in front.
You made me think I'm crazy. You think I'm sounding crazy? How you feel about police officers? How you feel about police officers? You like them, dislike them, don't care? Dislike them? Why?
I don't know, it make
Is
kids,
it something you seen on TV, something you seen around Sylvester? What is
it
it?
make kids feel unsafe.
Hmm?
It basically make kids feel unsafe, and scared.
You ever had any interaction with a police officer? You been in trouble?
No, like, they.
Oh, interaction when an adult is involved. All right, you want to ask me a question, you want to ask her? Any question for her?
I'm not gonna ask any questions.
All right, you can wait back outside.
And I would like to make a close.
Okay, all right. Did you have anything in rebuttal? Or just closing article? All right. Anything else you want to say in closing, ma'am? All right, you may close.
You know, the witnesses contradicted her testimony. The two children, they claim she stopped. She said she went with, when she went there. Officer Peter says, I don't know if
Miss, Miller, what's his motive?
I have no idea, sir.
You just low down cop, do that crazy stuff?
No comment. I'm not gonna say that he's a low down cop because he may feel like I didn't, you know, that he saw what he seen, but I know that I didn't run the light. So I'm not gonna say that he's a negative person, but I didn't run the light.
But you believe he intentionally stopped you when he knew that you didn't break the law? Is that what you believe?
Yes, sir, it is.
All
But
right,
it's not for me to say that he's a low down cop.
well, you can boil it down any way you want to, but it would sound like if somebody knows that you didn't break the law and they intentionally stopped you and give you a ticket, that's low down. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, you don't want to see it, I can say it.
okay, well,
All right.
I
Yeah.
just don't feel like it would be right for me to take something that I know that I didn't do.
Okay. Based upon the evidence presented, I find you guilty, and I find you $100. When can you pay that?
I don't know, sir.
Ma'am,
I don't know, sir.
are you married?
No, sir.
You separated?
Yes, sir.
You get child support?
No, sir.
Why?
I have no idea, sir. If
I'm
the
asking you
man
these
don't work,
questions, I'm asking you questions not to be nosy, but to see
well, I'm just saying,
about
like,
what you are able to pay and when.
well, if they don't work, they don't make them pay child support. So, I guess that's why.
Do you work full time?
I work part-time.
When was the last time you worked full time?
I had a client to die, so I haven't been working full-time for
Say
a
it
while.
again?
I had a patient to die,
Mm-hmm.
so I haven't been working full-time for a while.
Okay, you do sitting or something?
Yes, sir.
You don't work in a hospital?
No, sir.
Well, I'm reducing your fine by $95. Can you pay it in 30 days?
Yes, I'll try.
Does either one of your daughters work?
No, sir.
Why you laughing?
Because they cheer and stuff, so they don't like really have time.
Cause they spoil, they don't have to work.
No, sir, they're not small.
All right, see if you have it paid by November 22nd, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. You can step over to that table right there. Ian Williams? Williams on page, the Eli, Ian. Page 13. I-A-N, Williams. Williams, how old are you?
37.
How much formal education do you have? Where do you work? You understand your right to a trial, the presumption of innocence, the right to confront and execute witnesses, and the right to remain silent and not incriminate yourself?
No,
Are you under the influence of drugs, alcohol, or medication? Are you mentally disabled? You entered a not guilty plea to too fast for condition and laying, drag, or reckless conduct with an automobile. Do you stand by your plea of not guilty to those two charges on trial? All right, sit and proceed.
I call Officer Edwards, y'all. Officer Edwards, you just sworn in? Would you raise your right hand? You solemnly swear to testify this truth, don't you, not to yourself, to God?
I do.
Could you state your full name for the record?
Corey Edwards.
How are you employed, Officer Edwards?
I'm a patrolman at the city, at the Sylvester Police Department, patrol the city, and for state and local laws.
How long have you been employed with the city of Sylvester?
Today makes a year.
And are you a certified law enforcement officer?
Yes, sir.
Which section of which you made that training?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been a certified law enforcement officer?
I'm certified March 26, 2021.
And you mentioned before about your duties. Would you tell me again your duties as an employee, certified law enforcement officer in the city of Sylvester?
I'm patrolling, I patrol the city of Sylvester, make sure everyone is safe, and I also enforce state and local laws.
Does that include the lane drag law and
Yes,
the
sir.
two passenger conditions
State
law?
code, yes, sir.
And how are you familiar with that?
Mr. Williams over one night, put him over at his home. An incident occurred downtown it was on East MLK. He initially stopped the stop sign right there on East MLK in South Main. When he came through across pretty fast. And at that time, it was congested area because he had a restaurant there and the flood was downtown, so it was people on the side of the road and vehicles on the side of the road. So then it was myself, Officer Peterson, and it was other officers downtown. Then we heard tires squealing. And when we came down MLK, Mr. Williams was then going out MLK as well. We hit our lights. He then proceeded to go down MLK. He made a left on Washington, and he made a right on Crockett, and that's where we had to go to his home just to pull him up.
Now, you indicated, did you visibly see the defendant's vehicle before he was stopped?
Yes, I did say that before.
And you indicated it was coming through an area that was congested?
Yes, sir.
Right. Tell me what the basis of you were in the two passenger conditions, is that right? Tell me what the basis of the two passenger conditions.
So pretty much the basis of the two passenger conditions is if officer can prove that the conditions at that time were violated as far as whether it's weather conditions, whether it is residential area, whether it's congested area, if officer can prove at that time that that person was going too fast, the conditions present, then you can write in that section.
And what was your concern about?
My concern was that, at that time, we had a lot of vehicles near the roadway, and you had people with the roadway, because they were in the downtown area, which was congested at that time due to the flood and the restaurant on East End.
And if somebody's going too fast in an area, what can result?
Injuries, someone could have been trying to cross the street, he could have lost control of the vehicle, anything of that nature, so any kind of accident could occur at that time.
And in fact, if accidents occur with vehicles going through that area?
We actually had someone, get struck by a vehicle a couple of years ago, and they actually passed in the area, so yes, sir.
And you indicated that, did you have a clear and unobstructed view of the defendant's vehicle when he was passing through that area?
Yes, sir.
Right. Any doubt in your mind that it was not his vehicle that you ended up stopping? And was that located in the city of Mr. Sylvester, Georgia?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, you also indicated that he spun on his tires at some point?
Yes, sir. So prior to that night, that morning, September 11th, that morning about 5 o'clock, he came to Circle K, and it was myself and other officers present outside. As he was leaving Circle K, he spun his tires twice, and by that time he was gone. So he got away that time, and then that same night.
Let me stop you just a second.
Go ahead.
You're familiar with the defendant?
Yes.
You're familiar with his vehicle?
Yes.
You witnessed him spinning out his tires earlier that day?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but you did not sight him at that time. Okay, tell me about the afternoon and the night when you did stop.
That afternoon, that night, when he came across the cane at a higher speed, and then at some point he had to stop his vehicle because he was the only vehicle on that road at that time. And his tires squealed, and then he took off again, and that's when we went down.
Did you visibly witness him squealing his tires, spinning his tires at that time?
Physically, no, sir, but through our, when we're sitting there, you hear him school, his tires, he's on, get on the road at that time.
No other cars were around at that time,
Not at that time.
right? And how far away was he from you when you heard the spinning tires in your
He
estimation?
was probably about either 5 to 7 feet.
Sorry, how far?
About 5 to 7 feet, he was really close.
He was about 5 or 7 feet away from y'all?
Yes, sir.
Did y'all, when he spun his tires, did y'all immediately, I guess, turn or see?
Yes, we immediately went to go for a moment.
How long did it take to pull him over?
Took us probably, give or say, 30 seconds. Because once we hit the lights, he shot down MLK, and he shot down Washington, ran the stop sign at Washington property, and then he tried to pull into his, then he pulled into his yard at that time. So it took about 30 seconds.
Tell me what happened once you made contact with him.
I made contact with him, went up to his window. At that time, it was very irate. Anytime I pulled over, I introduced myself, tried to tell them who I am, why I'm pulling them over. Mr. Lewis didn't give me time to do that. He started calling me all kind of names at that time, so I asked him for his license at that time, and that's when I proceeded to go back to my vehicle to write something.
And was there any conversation with him about spinning the tires or anything like that?
No, sir. When I approached the window, he was so irate, he didn't give me a chance to talk.
And tell me what happened after you approached him.
After I approached him, I got his license and got wrote the citation. Once I came back to give him the citations, tried to go over everything with him, he was still irate at that time, calling me all kind of names. So at that point in time, I just told him when he could test the ticket, how he can test the ticket, how he can pay for his ticket. And he said he wasn't going to sign it. And I told him he wasn't going to sign it. He was going to have to go to the police department with me and find out on those offenses. Then he proceeded to sign the citation at that time.
Anything else you can recall about this? Any question in your mind as we sit here today, whether or not it was him spun the tires? There's no question that it's your belief that it was him spun the tires. And who was the other officer with you?
Officer, please.
I have no further questions this time.
All right, you have any questions for this witness?
If you witness me, traveling at a high rate of speed, what my margin of speed?
We were in a parking, but as far as pertaining to the conditions at that time, their speed was too high at that time due to the congested area and people being inside work.
Another question. If you didn't physically observe me spending my time, I could write the ticket for me. There was 2 cars in front of me. There was a green Mustang and there was a green Ford Taurus in front of me.
At that point in time, myself, when I made contact on East and Left, we were the only vehicle on the road at that time. We were also the only vehicle come to the intersection as we proceeded from that at that time.
One else person, you say that you're accusing me of spending my time the night before or whatever. Is that revenge for us putting me on the next night? One person for that.
All right, everything, you
That's
have
fine, Mr. Chairman.
another witness?
I do. Is Officer Peterson? Yeah, I believe Officer Peterson, you can sue him.
All right.
Would you state your full name for record?
Thank you for your
And Officer Peterson, how many people?
service for the park.
How many people citizens Sylvester?
Yes.
You're a certified law enforcement officer? You accept the passion and training? How many certified law enforcement officer?
4 years.
How many of your duties as certified law enforcement officer?
So fair, that's fair, what's the next thing?
And are you familiar with the land drag ordinance, 2000 conditions ordinance?
Yes.
Right, statute?
Yes.
Tell me, are you also familiar with the defendant? Tell me how you're familiar with the defendant.
Officer Aaron was pulling him over one night, he was downtown with a lot of guys, and inspecting his tires and took up to his house.
Were you in the same vehicle as Officer Edwards or separate vehicle?
That was it.
Were you in the same location as him?
Yes, and I was around.
And did you audibly hear the tires being spun?
Yes,
And did you visibly see his vehicle?
yes.
And did you see his vehicle spin the tires?
I had that far out the road.
Were there any other vehicles around there, as far as you can tell? Did you attend the actual stop itself, or
Yes.
tell me what you recall?
Um, we went to get them, but then we put it to the yard, every school behind them, and we first told them like stop them, both citations.
Maybe I should like that. Let's go to some time.
You have any questions for this witness?
Yes, I do. If there was cars in front of me, how would you know or not that it was me to spend my time to do this?
I just say that I cannot get
All right, anything else from the city?
Nothing else.
Would you like to testify on your behalf, sir?
Yes, I would.
Proceed.
The night, that this happened, I was debating whether or not to go to the club or not. That's right up the street down here. I'm not familiar with there. I'm not from here. I'm recently transitioned here. So I came across the stop sign, saw the police officer's car sitting at the club. So I decided not to go to the club. I drove across, and I drive a supercharged V8 Hemi, which is loud, and it may sound louder than it actually is, but I rode across the stop sign. There was two cars in front of me, so it was impossible for me to lay drag or whatever this law is that I'm not familiar with this person. The cars proceeded. All of a sudden, I hear sirens everywhere. I turn the block and go in my yard, and there's guns drawn on me. So, as far as laying drag or spinning tires, I'm not familiar with that. I don't do that. I know since I've been here to Sylvester, I've been harassed by a police officer on 4 separate occasions. There being the 4th time, and that's the only ticket that's been written. I don't know if it's because I've got a Florida tax and I may send my place, but I know I'm not around here doing anything, you know, to get anybody hurt. I got my own family of 5 kids, and as far as man dragging, I'm not saying somebody didn't do it, but if they can't visually say it's me, I can't see how they say I did.
Well,
You okay, you're not familiar with this area?
Correct.
Do you live here?
No.
Stay in residence in this
I
area?
have 2 separate locations. I have a residence in Jacksonville and I have a residence in
What do you recall about my information?
I just recall that I was going back to the house. I was going back to the house, and I stopped completely at the stop sign. I came across, like I said, my car loud, supercharged V8 Hemi. I go across the stop sign. All of a sudden, I hear sirens everywhere. And I'm looking, I see blue everywhere. It's night. By the time I'm pulling in my yard, they pulling in behind me. I was upset because I did curse them out. I was very irate because I have a very bad experience with police. I've had guns shoved in my face. I've been slammed on the ground by the police. The police have never ever served me justice. So I have a fear of police. I don't like police, so I keep away from the police. I don't have charges and none of that pending and none of that. I just don't like the police, so I irate. I feel like I've been pulled over or targeted for not visually being seen doing it.
Did Officer Edwards or Officer Peterson praise you around?
No.
They stick a gun in your face?
I looked in the mirror, I seen something hanging out the window like this, I could swear.
Did they stick a gun in your face?
Not in my face, but it had time before. I've actually been sitting in a car here in Sylvester early in the morning, drinking my coffee, smoking around like a mile, talking on the phone with my friend. The police pulled around one of the black trucks they drive. He got out of the truck, took a picture of my tag and said, "We're gonna get you," and drove off. Mind my business. I've been harassed since I've been here 4 times by police. Their 4th time was the ticket that I got.
Was that the officer that stopped you for the lady drag, took the tag picture?
I'm not, no, he that wasn't him that took the picture.
Did you spin your tires in your car?
No, I don't.
You never spin your tires.
No, I don't.
So Officer Edwards was lying about an earlier incident.
You did visually see me do it, so you can't. I can't say it didn't happen, but I didn't do it.
But he's lying about the incident earlier that morning about you spinning your tires.
Correct, he is.
He's lying about the incident that afternoon about you spinning your tires. That's not.
Correct, he is.
Officer Peterson is lying about the incident.
Correct, he is.
Let's go there.
yeah, anything else from you, sir?
No.
Anything else from the city?
No, you are. I'd like to make a small question.
Right. On the court found the city has carried the burden of proving guilty for two factual conditions. Court found him not guilty of land grab. The statute have those magic words in it, as you may well know. And the car has to either go from side to side, gyrate, or have to spin around in circles to be a land grab, according to 40-6-251. So the court finds you not guilty of land drag. You're found on the two factual condition of 195. When can you pay that, sir?
Really no time, so obviously, just putting the pieces back out. I'm recently widowed, and I'm just putting the pieces back together. I got custody of my 5 of my kids, so that's expensive, and it's just me taking care of my kids, so it'll take a while for me to pay, possibly payments.
It would take too longer than 30 days to pay it?
I'm sorry,
It would take too longer than 30 days to come up with the money?
probably so. I don't receive any public assistance, food stamps.
If you pay on probation for 12 months, the probation fee is waived for the first 60 days. If he does not pay it off in 60 days, he can be charged the first 2 months probation fee. Y'all got it? If you pay it off within 2 months, you have no additional money to pay. If you go over 60 days, then they're gonna charge you, whatever they charge you $35 a month for the 2 months you didn't have to pay in for the third month. You got it? That's all it's for.
Have no further catches, John.
Hmm?
Have no further catches.
All right, man. That's somebody where? Close adjourned.
I would like to say, for Ms. Williams, I would like to thank her for her service to the city.